Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to part 23 of Let's Play Tyranny Gold Edition. Last part we were, well, we were in the Rust Canyons trying to deal with the Unbroken.
There, see that?
Right.
Right, let's, and apparently, ladies and gentlemen, there is a fast mode in this game. There it is. See, I never I was, as I've been,
quiet down.
On holiday, for a couple of days, I was watching some Tyranny, like some Let's Plays of Tyranny, because I was a bit bored. And holy fuck, I wish I knew that earlier. Right, so let's, I'm gonna use my rim spike. You use your rim spike there. Fury's Embrace. And I'll let you,
send them at me in waves.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go fuck these guys up in person. By in person, I mean I'm gonna go literally stab them in. Like, I'm gonna go stab them instead of just using spells.
On it.
Although spells do seem to be the quickest way for me to win. I am a spell slinger by nature. That does seem to be my best stuff.
Good thing I keep a torsion wrench handy.
Just fucking throw all that in my infantry, please, mate. A rugged stalwart flag sways gently in the wind, marking the site where the original owner died during the casting of the Edicts of Storms. Let's have a look at those quickly. So we've got a... well, no one uses a spear in this party. No one uses javelins. Iron mace, not really either. And heavy armor, again, no one.
Can't do that.
Normally it would be me who's using heavy armor, but for once I'm not, so it's a bit different. We've been up there. The captain shouts to our remaining troops, "We can take these ironclads. If they're as dense and clueless as their Archon, they should fall like splintered masts." Catching sight of you, Elia calls out to her soldiers once more. "Reinforcements approaching." "Good to see you here, fatebinder. Time to cleanse Rust Canyon with a unbroken taint. They want to leave these canyons alive. My men are ready to die, and we're only too happy to take you down as many of you as possible. Her lips press together in a determined smile. I have a spear destined for you, your right eye, whenever you feel like embracing the void. Let's see how well the Unbroken live up to their name. Better than you'd think, worm." Elia lets out a reckless battle cry and lunges at you. I promise, mate, letting out a battle cry at me is fucking stupid. I mean, I hurt.
I'm a shield wall unto myself.
She's fireball. This bitch does not seem to be going down.
This weapon isn't
She doesn't seem to be taking any damage either.
really worthless.
And as such, I'm gonna go deal. Oh, fucking Lantry. Lantry? Get off back there a second, please. Thank you. Wow, I got made prone before I could even do it. Well, I'm gonna go fuck this cunt up because he's annoying me. Yeah, right now, I don't seem to be able to do much damage, which is an issue, obviously. And I'm level 9, so let's level me straight up. Quickness, please, because, yeah, I want my abilities. I would like some more spell slots, but I don't really need them right now. Spell Breached. Afflictions of Frost attacks also gain bonus to magic skill for a short time after using Frost. I'm pretty sure one of my attacks is Frost as well, but... Disarm, Leaping Kick, Charge, Dual Wield... Blade Dancing, gaze a parry for each enemy that engages you. Also a hit to gaze and defense. Apply poison when attack from stealth. I don't give a shit about staffs. Cone of Magic, turn out burst of energy for your magic staff. Charge up your magic staff. Arcane Charge. I'm gonna try Arcane Charge and see what that's like. That should wait, I have a Frost attack, don't I? Yeah, I have a legitimate I have a legit... See, look at that. Spell Breached. I have an actual Frost attack, so... yeah, you're still using... I'm going to leave Lantry to do whatever spells he wants. Because I'm pretty sure we can get rid of this bitch with just the spells we've got. she fucked. She got fucked, bruh. Oh shit, did he? The disfavored are losing. God fucking damn it, disfavored. How dare you lose? You're not allowed to lose. You're the disfavored, not fucking children. This cunt's on fire. Ooh, rim spike.
I got it.
My favorite spell. Alright, mate, you seem to be,
What is wrong with my weapon?
Oh, verse? You're not verse? I got an idea. I got that. Sorry, not verse. Barrack. Well, it's a bit late, but let's do it anyway.
On your knees, worms.
That did not work.
Right.
That did not work well at all. Aww. It wasn't even my rim spike that killed that one. I'm upset. I'm still alive. Shit, I wasn't part of the plan. The broken captain grunts and squints up at you through a haze of pain. I'm not telling you anything. My secrets, they come with me to the grave. We could always find more creative ways of extracting information. Now that we've thrown a spear into the scavenging plans, we can afford to take our time. Just kill me and be done with it. She levels her gaze with you. We both know I won't bow to torture. You'd only be wasting your time. Are you sure about that? As you break your finger, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the best. I'm not a voice actress. Let's not worry about that. As you bend her fingers at a cruel angle, Elia grits her teeth and grunts through the pain. Through her pride, you can plainly recognize agony and hatred reflected in her eyes. You northern shits are all the same. Does stepping on the neck of the fallen make you feel justified? Is this what you get you off on war? Yeah, more or less. I wouldn't call it a requirement, you filthy southern mutt, but it helps. Fine, fine. I've suffered enough for my country that I deserve a moment's respite before my eternal fucking slumber. She glares at you and shakes her head. What do you want to know? Don't expect me to hold these wounds closed. You're on borrowed time. You're looking for an artifact, right? Aye, and we've been searching for some time. She glances around with evident exhaustion. A fool's errand, perhaps. Suppose I'll never know for sure. We were hunting for the remains of Regent Aspion. Before the war, he carried the steadfast insignia, a cloak pin that was passed down the line of first regents. Her eyes twinkle as she says the name. Remembering herself, Elia grimaces and looks to you with loathing. What did you learn about the regent? We were looking for the body of First Regent Aspion, who was presumed died during the war. Instead, we found records of his past movements. The final word on the matter is that he journeyed to a breach in the old walls and never returned. She frowns to herself. Not sure what he's doing in there, unless he wanted to unleash the Bane against the disfavored somehow. Dumb shit. We sent all our team, led by one of our best, Gregos, to investigate. Like as not, the steadfast insignia is there, in the breach. She spits. May you never find it. What do you know about Ash's daughter, Amelia? Who? The captain coughs into her sleeve and shakes her head. I'm not in the business of breaking up family. That's Kyros' domain. Outside of the Rust, Kennings and Iron here, the only ironclads I know of are in Duskwatch. She focuses her beady eyes on you, but you've already taken care of them already, haven't you? You bastard. What is this? What is this steadfast insignia? It's a cloak pin worn by the first regent, supposedly to help you stand tall against. She lurches in pain and coughs up a glob of phlegm. Shit. Stand tall against shitty odds. I don't know if it works, but I can't think of any odder shit than shitter than the wound wall around Sentinel Stand. How did a breach form in the old walls? She attempts a meager shrug. We've been a little preoccupied with you northern fuckers to waste our time patrolling the length of the country, so you'll excuse me if I'm shady on the details. My best guess, either the Edicts of Storm blasted a hole in the ancient stone, or something blasted its way out. Does either option help you sleep better at night? I thought not. How do I get to the local spire? There's no direct road, but the breach in the old walls is said to lead to the ocean's spire floor. If you're dead set on making the journey, you'll come across the worst foes in the Unbroken. Who leads the Unbroken? Matthews was our captain during the war, but in Star to come, I would see him take on a higher authority. She sighs and looks up to the darkened sky. Looks like brighter days aren't for the likes of me. Last I heard, he was rounding up men in Trappers Junction, but that was some time ago. He was due to leave by now. He was looking for the Dauntless, the sword of Unbroken champions. He thought that he could rally us, give us hope. She laughs bitterly. I've heard enough out of you. Before she can protest, you drive a blade through her ribs and hold it there until Ilya stops twitching. Hardly a clean kill, but a good kill. The difference is important. So dies a daughter of fallen stalwart. Jacquemus nods. Good work, Fatebinder. I'll regroup with Theodore and secure Rust Canyons for the disfavored. And I will loot her. Because she likely had... If I could just take all of it. Ooh. A stalwart bronze sword. Don't care about that. That's a two-handed axe. Don't care about that. This is heavy... Fucking hell. All heavy armor, man. We did lose, we lost everything but Jacquemus in that fight there.
Sorry, I can't.
So that was unfortunate. But hey, we're done with the Rust Canyon, so let's move on. So, oh shit, yeah. Actually, let's look at quests. So currently we have travel to the Chapper's Junction and kill the scavengers reported they hide in the junkyard north of the Unbroken Camp in Rust Canyons. Flush them out and kill them. Apparently, we didn't finish that. I'm just gonna... See, I don't like. This is why I don't like. This is why I liked not knowing about fast mode, because it means I didn't. I couldn't employ it whenever I was. I just wanted to skip shit. I'm pretty sure I got all the scavengers. Oh shit! I don't think I went up here. Yep, that would be the last. Literally just the last scavenger.
Shield wall unto myself.
As we're just using my bolt spells at this point. There we go, and there is our favourite wizard leveled up. I'm going to level up his endurance. Let's give him some extra health. Restoration spells maxed, thank you. Okay, we've reached them. We don't even need to rest, so... Return to Theodore and Rust Canyon. So we can return to Theodore, who is there. So there we go. I didn't realize... There was literally... I can't believe there was literally just one person I missed. There's always just fucking one in it. Well, that was... Apparently, I also forgot... You know, fuck it, let's put fast mode on, because apparently I forgot some loot, and... At this point, fast mode is just going to make this a little bit quicker, innit? Alright, you know what, fuck it, let's just rest, because if we don't rest, if we don't, like, take... I don't like leaving a map empty. Sorry, I don't like leaving a map with stuff. Let's read this. Fucking hell. Dear Glorious, based on what you've told me, it seems a stretch to believe these events are mere coincidence or circumstances. Kyros' edicts of execution were set up for someone to claim Ascension's Hall. To think that Kyros did not know what would happen is a massive understatement of the Overlord's long view. You have been thrust into the arena of the mighty. Your options are retreat into obscurity, suicide, or rising to the occasion. I suggest the third option. If I were you, I would use my connection to the spies to see if they will awaken to my presence. Every tearsman sees the spies in the horizon. If they know you are the master of the spies, they will see you each time they look to the sunrise or sunset. Foster a reputation for power. Make others fear you. This is what I've seen Kyros and every living Archon do for as long as I've lived there, and there's reason for this. They're the practical case that power and a reputation insulate you from the threats. There's the lesser known element that I can't prove, but I know in my heart to be true. The fear and love of others will strengthen your magic. The last part I've inferred from my discussions with Bled and Mark. In the few times he has spoken of his gruesome work, slaying those who might rise to threaten the Overlord, he has hinted that it's easy to kill the rogue elements before they become famed and fearsome. In my lifetime, I saw Graven Ash change from an unknown militiaman to a fearsome general, and I can assure you he did not have the power to shield his warriors in those days when he was without title or reputation. The Archons will never, ever discuss the origin of their power, because such knowledge might be used against them. But I have known all the Archons to be obsessed with the presentation of power. Your connection to the Spires will all but guarantee the Archons will want to control and destroy you. It is a question of when, not if. Start thinking and acting like an Archon. As far as I'm concerned, you are an Archon, the Archon of the Spires. We are quick to place labels on powers we easily spot, and history is replete with Archons of fire and ice. It is foolish to think that there must be a word for a thing before an Archon can control it. Other way round, the Archons show us what is possible, and we must step up to their dance. I'm going to ask about the Archons and how they've risen to power. Dimifios, I appreciate the insight and I am honoured by your vote of confidence. Your missive made mentions of Graven Ash and how you've known him since before he wore the title of the Archon of War. Can you tell me what you observed of his rise to power? If I am indeed an Archon, it is safe to say I wasn't born knowing that what I can or can't do, and it stands to reason I might learn something from the stories of the other Archons. There we go. So we've got to travel to the Old Wall Breach. And go to Trapper's Junction, search for Matthias. We're going to probably do that first before we go to the Old Wall. Because killing off the enemy leader is always the smartest option, in my opinion. Right, there we go. Theodore. My scouts tell me Rust Canyon is dead quiet. We're finding scavenger corpses, but no signs of activity. As he turns away, he gestures towards one of his soldiers and says, "Pay the man his dues." My thanks. Spend it wisely, Fatebinder. You've earned it. So, we've got... The good thing is we're replete with shit to sell as well. Like, we have a crap ton of stuff to sell. So, let's us leave. How is my control fire, actually? That's a good point. Control fire is at 40. Control stone shit as well. And control lightning is not high enough to say high lightning was my main spell at what is meant to be my main spell. What's my accuracy like actually by the by? Accuracy of 75, 108, 57, 79. I can take 75, I can accept that. Sounds fair. Right, so we've got the secluded forge, which I'm gonna go to soon. I'm gonna go to Trapper's Junction first. Because as fun as it will be to go into the Old Wall Breach, it's I think it's first safer to go here first. Alright, another letter from Fatebinder Mythios. Glarus, this is the sort of question that can get you killed. Very little is known about how the Archons are born or come to power. And my long life has taught me that Kyros and the other Archons prefer it this way. If the young and talented remain forever in the dark, the old and mighty can rule without challenge. I heard of Ash, he will always be merely Ash to me, before Kyros renamed him and gave his legion the backhanded title. As a rebel, a grimy, illiterate partisan who was winning battles while his countrymen of the Northern Kingdom lost left and right. Ash was always a good leader, but he wasn't born able to mystically reach out and protect his soldiers. The earliest mention of this isn't until the tail end of the Northern Conquest, and if you read the journals, they don't tell stories of grievous harm warded off by Ash's stern looks. Instead, they talk about his soldiers finding their fears and doubts lifted from them by Ash's presence. A careful reading suggests the ability to actively protect physical harm came years later as that bond grew, and more importantly, as his legend grew. The legend part is the key detail. In my understanding, an Archon's power is something of a self-fulfilling prophecy. The widespread perception of an Archon's power is the very thing that strengthens an Archon's power. So in Ash's case, he had some early inkling of the power, the ability to assuage the burdens of his men, and he took on a mantle of power and became known all around the Territus as the next Archon of War. It too became the ability to bear the physical burdens of his men, not just their fears and doubts. Thus my advice to you is act like an Archon. Take the power where you can find it. Foster fear, foster love. Never to walk through life anonymous, but rather live in the thoughts of your followers and anxieties of your enemies. I'm going to ask about Bleeding Mark's killings. Dear Mythios, your wisdom on the matter is greatly appreciated. You mentioned of Bleeding Mark and his killings. During my trading, fatebinder Callium hinted that much of Bleeding Mark's work involves killing off threats before they blossom into genuine problems, so it's curious to hear you second that fact. So, let's say for the sake of argument, I am some Archon. Is it just a matter of time until Bleeding Mark is sent to kill me? Should I be making grand displays of loyalty to the court to assuage his suspicions? Well, I'm going to go out and say no, because if the more you act like you are, the more loyal you act, the less loyal you're perceived to be. You spot a soldier lying in a slump. Though the mud and blood caked on his tattered garb, you can make out the colours and insignia of the Unbroken. He fights through pain with each ragged breath. As you approach, he shifts his head slightly towards you, but does not appear to have the strength to look up. The only ones travelling this way could be those who brought down Duskwatch. If that's you, then I'll die with a curse on my lips. So this is it. Then, just kill me quickly. I'm in no state to continue on like this. His forced smile sends a trickle of blood out the side of his mouth. Where is Matthias? Matthias, if he lives, he's with the rest of my countrymen. He makes a feeble gesture somewhere off in the distance. I suppose I'll leave you be then. The burn bursts into a coughing fit, and an ugly torrent of blood spurts from his mouth. His gasping for air turns into a gurgling as he finally slumps over and stops moving entirely. So it looks like someone came through here and bitch slapped the Unbroken. Some of the Unbroken. There looks to be some Unbroken still remaining. Would you look at that? Some Scarlet Chorus fuckboys.
Take me.
Fuck you in particular. Fuck you in particular. Continue to fuck him in particular.
I got it.
It's a good thing about Scarlet Chorus. They are very weak to, they have a very low armor threshold, so killing them isn't exactly the hardest part. The hardest thing is dealing with the amount of damage they can put out, which I will admit is a fair amount. Let's try and deal with this cunt before he uses too much magic on us.
Let's do it, you and me.
This cunt has got no... This prick's got no chance of fucking us up. Well, as we expected, the Scarlet Chorus have made their way to the Blade Graveyard.
I'll be your shadow.
Curious.
Looks like there's a scout. Looks like there's a gaggle of cunts up here. Alright, we're gonna fuck that guy up together. Verse, you're gonna go stab someone else.
I got it.
Go! Kind of feel sorry for that guy because I just used 2 sets of fucking people on him, or 2 sets of abilities on him.
You won't enjoy this as much as I do.
I'm not gonna lie, I must admit, ladies and gentlemen, these Scarlet Chorus are falling down pretty quickly. We lost a little bit more health this time, I'll admit, but they got their head kicked in still, as you would expect. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually going to have to end this part here. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next part. See you guys then.